I Was Reincarnated as the Seventh Prince is an anime that found itself with a little bit of controversy, but still managed to be one of the most enjoyable watches of spring 2024 anime. But why was this anime so controversial? Well, to my understanding, a lot of people seem to have an issue with the fact that they decided to take our MC Lloyd, who's a 10-year-old, and give him a little bit of zest on a fat dumpy. And I have to admit that I don't quite know why our boy stands like Shakira, and I can understand why people don't like it. But in all honesty, it's not that big of a deal, and it doesn't take away from how good the anime actually is. But there's also the fact that despite him being a 10-year-old boy, he somehow has possibly the hottest maid I've ever seen lusting after him. But while we're on the topic of the maid, I have to say that Slypha is not only hot as fuck, but she's cool as fuck, and I love her. I mean, bro is basically like the female Kirito on ketamine. The way she dual wields the swords is absolutely insane, and the animators did a great job with this anime, especially when it comes to her fight scenes. I mean, the animation of her fight between her and that Humpty Dumpty looking ass demon got me hyped as fuck. When she pulled out that demon bane sword and absolutely scrambled that dumb little egg, I swear to God, I was almost on my knees begging for her to step on me. But besides me being down bad for the hot maid, the other characters in anime were actually very enjoyable in my opinion. I absolutely loved Albert's character in particular. I think he's a truly great brother and he cares about Lloyd a lot. Same goes with his other brother and his sister too. I think for once we actually have a royal family that just genuinely care about each other without one of them going absolutely mental and trying to turn the others into a packet of space raiders just to wear a silly little crown. And for me, that was refreshing, especially since Lloyd is so young. But while we're on the topic of Lloyd, I have to say that when you put aside the fact they gave him hips the size of Texas for no reason, he's actually just a really good main character. But of course, since it's a fantasy anime, he is extremely overpowered, but that's just what we expect from fantasy anime these days, so it is what it is. But the fact he's overpowered isn't what makes him such an enjoyable MC. It's the fact that Lloyd genuinely cares and pays attention to all the people around him, but even more important than that, he really cares about magic. I mean, yes, this guy is a kid and does have a cute personality at his core, and he also has a good relationship with all those people around him, but deep down, this guy's a little psychopath. Trust me when I tell you he has such a little devious way to approach every single fight, and it somehow makes him be more intimidating than any demon they come across. I mean, brother literally just wants to test his own magic abilities and learn whatever he can while doing it. Even if he's going toe-to-toe with a tough opponent, he does not care. Magic takes priority. So yes, we have been blessed with a main character that's low-key a little bit of a menace to society, but honestly, we fucking love him for it. I almost love him as much as I love the animation of this anime, which I briefly mentioned earlier, but let me tell you right now, this anime has such creative animation and the choreography to go with it is genuinely fucking amazing. I mean, the sword fighting and the magic aspects are just genuinely so beautiful and well thought out from start to finish in this anime, and honestly, that alone makes it worth watching, especially if you're a little action fight scene junkie. But I will say that thankfully this top tier animation is complemented by a pretty enjoyable storyline in my opinion. I mean, the first half of the show is fairly solid, but the last 3 to 4 episodes especially is where things get really spicy. I mean, somehow, despite the fact that Lloyd is extremely overpowered, we actually managed to find a proper villain who is genuinely a challenge for him and actually made him think and plan on how to beat him while in the fight, which is a lot more entertaining than most typical isekai or fantasy anime these days where OP people just shit on everyone without even breaking a sweat. And because of that, I genuinely think this anime is really enjoyable. So I guess the question is, why haven't you subscribed yet? But also, what would I actually rate this anime out of 10? And in my opinion, it's a 7.95 out of 10. I wouldn't go as far as to say this anime is an absolute masterpiece because there's certainly anime out there that are a lot more enjoyable for me personally. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this anime was genuinely very good and really enjoyable. I mean, the outstanding fight choreography, animation creativity, and the relationships and bonds between all the characters and Lloyd just genuinely make it so much better than any of our standard fantasy or trash isekais that we get these days. So yes, I definitely do think that despite the controversy around this anime, it is definitely worth a watch, and I do genuinely love this anime. So with that being said, all I have to say now is thank you all for watching, and as always, remember to feed your goldfish, pet your dog, and tell your mother you love her. That's right, I did a normal outro for once. I was sensible. Be proud of me. Peace the fuck out.